Well, greetings interwebs. Today's going to be a little bit different. Because it's nighttime, this is going to cook overnight. I'm not going to bother with the apron, I'm just wearing a t-shirt. We're going to make gumbo, sort of. I mean, any Cajuns out there in the audience watching this are going to probably be upset with me because it is not a gumbo. Well, this goes back to the old easy to make at home, delicious, feeds a family. Okay, starters, this is a crock pot, or also known as a slow cooker. As you can see, it's pretty well worn. I put a lot of miles and a lot of years on this old crock pot. Used it a lot. If you don't have one, I recommend getting one. I think I paid like $23 for this one. They're not very expensive. Ever so useful. You can make roasts and soups and all kind of stuff in a slow cooker. You can just Google a bunch of slow cooker recipes. They're everywhere. And easy to do. You dump the stuff in, basically, go to bed. You get up the next morning, it's ready. It's just that easy. So here's our ingredients. We got an onion, got some okra. You can't have gumbo without okra. 2 cans stewed tomatoes. In this case, they have celery and onion, green pepper in them. Of course, minced garlic, and my old best friend, the garlic salt. And for the meat, Georgia Boy brand smoked sausage. I found this at Winn-Dixie, and it's a locally grown up in Georgia, locally made pork sausage from Georgia. It's a lot cheaper than the big national brands, but it's really good, and I like it. You can also use chicken, you can use shrimp, you can use any number of other kind of meats. I just prefer the smoked sausage. I'm going to take 3 of them, cut them up in little pieces and throw it in and go from there. So stand by. Okay, I plugged in the crock pot, turned it up on high. This thing's so well worn, the low, medium, or high, low, and simmer are worn off. So I'm just trusting by faith that I got the right one. I've used it so many times, I know it's the first one. So go ahead and dump in our 2 cans of tomatoes. Now, personal taste issue again, I like a lot of garlic. Somewhere in my family tree, I guess an Italian snuck in. I don't know, but I love me some garlic. So we'll set that aside. Now, with the tomatoes being kind of sweet, and the okras being a vegetable, and of course tomorrow I put rice in it, that's going to cut down on the sauce a lot, so put quite a bit of garlic salt. In fact, in this case, because we're down to the very end of it, there, get all the little seasonings and stuff. Throw this one out and start a new one. Don't overdo it on the salt, because you might know what you're doing. If you haven't done it before, make it where you think it might be good, taste it, and then come back later. What you can do, if you've made it and then when it's done you taste it and there's not enough salt, rather than put more salt in it, put some salt in the rice. Because when you make the rice, it's very bland. It's going to have, it's going to cut down whatever seasoning's there. So throw some in the rice to kind of offset what's missing. Skizzers. We'll start with 1 bag of frozen okra. You can use regular okra if you can find it. It depends on, season and what's available. But always frozen okra. Some people kind of gross out because okra can be slimy. Well, yeah, if you boil it, if you make an okra and it's all chopped, if you make it in gumbo and it's already chopped up, it's not slimy. It's full of a lot of, stuff that's really, really healthy for you. I read online, I don't remember off the top of my head. I'll look up an article and post the results somewhere afterwards. But there's a lot of stuff in okra that is incredibly good for you. So yeah, you should always eat okra. But yeah, I understand. Boiled okra is slimy and gross. But like this, I think the technical term is très bien. Okay, next what I'm going to do is cut up an onion, cut up the sausage. I'll speed it up so you don't have to sit through that because I know how boring it is. And let's see, a brief musical interlude. Now then, remember the 2 cans of tomatoes, empty. We're going to fill them both with water, dump it in. This will get the rest of whatever tomato stuff out of the can, and you just need plenty of water for cooking. There we go. Now, lid cans are ready for ye old recycle bin. Okay, that's about it for now. I'll let this thing just sit and cook overnight, and tomorrow morning when I get up, come in here in my jammies, give it a good stir, check on it, turn it down to low, and let it keep going. And then I'll check in again. Just for the record, I only use 1 bag of okra. I'll put the other bag. You know, as much of this Winn-Dixie product as I use, they probably should endorse me. Anyway, see you in a few hours after I get a little bit of sleep.
About 8 hours later.
Well, good morning, interwebs. This has been sitting here cooking all night. Let's see how we're looking. You see it bubbling and simmering. The thing you can't, though, is smell how amazing this smells. The whole house smells like. What we're going to do is now turn this down to simmer. And let it sit for, the next few hours. This would be perfectly good to eat right now, except that it's 5 in the morning, and you don't want this for breakfast at 5 a.m. So we'll let it simmer for a few more hours, and that's the beauty of a crock pot or a slow cooker, is you just let it run. But you don't want to leave it cranked up for too long because it'll dry things out too much. But now that everything's basically ready, we'll let it just simmer. The flavors will continue to blend a little more. And when I get home this afternoon, I'll make a big bowl of 2-1 rice and serve it up for lunch. Stand by. Okay, so as you can see, the gumbo is all nice and mixed together. You can see those little seeds, the little round, kind of orange looking seeds. Those are from the okra. You can see right there on top, nice green okra. You could have this right now. It'd be so good. But not for breakfast. In a few hours when I come home, this will be an amazing lunch. So let's just stand by.
Much later.
Well, welcome back, interwebs. It's now noon, Sunday afternoon. This stuff's been cooking for a while. It's really good and ready to go. Only thing left to do is 1-2 rice, 2-1 rice, whatever you want to call it. Remember their routine? 1 scoop of rice, 2 scoops of water. Don't matter what size scoop you use, as long as it's the same size scoop. One of these with 2 of water, one of these with 2 of water, doesn't matter as long as it's the same one. So, 1 scoop of rice, and 1 and 2 scoops of water in a microwave safe bowl. Remember the magic number? Cooking time 1700. Boom. 17 minutes and we'll be good to go. So see you in a few.
A few minutes later.
Well, okay, 2-1 rice is all done. Get it out. It's so simple. Give it a little bit of a stir. Oh yeah. So, pick the lid off of this. Lovely green bowl. A bit of rice. A little bit of this nice hot juicy gumbo. It's been sitting here in this thing so long, it's kind of soupy now. It's easier to eat, which is fine because, well, I like soup. So our rice plus our gumbo equals a bowl of deliciousness. See how she goes. Okay, here's the top tip. When you take something right out of the oven and right out of the crock pot, don't stick it right in your mouth because it's really hot. So, because this has been cooking for so long, all the flavors have just blended together. You don't really get a lot of individual flavors. You get just one big flavor, I guess you say, of gumbo. It's really good, really tasty, and it's going to be really filling. And because of all the okra, it's going to be really healthy. So I'll leave a link down there for you. And on that happy, hungry note, be
seeing you.
Be seeing you.
Be seeing you.
Aita zona.
Be seeing you.
And you.
Be seeing you.
No, I'll be seeing you.
Really? That's my line. Bye, everybody.